Title: Love, Espresso, Big Dreams. Genre: Romance, Comedy, Motivation. Italy. Italy. Land of art, passion, and pure chaos wrapped in beauty. And right there, between the scooters buzzing through the streets of Rome, was Isabella, a 29-year-old dreamer from the US, with an old suitcase, a notebook full of sketches, and only 200 euros in her pocket. She came to Rome with a crazy idea to start her own sustainable fashion brand inspired by Italian fabrics. No investors, no business plan, just passion, espresso, and a stubborn heart. The cafe in Rome, Isabella sat at a tiny cafe overlooking the Colosseum, sketching her designs, when splash! A waiter tripped and spilled cappuccino all over her notebook. "Mamma mia!" the waiter gasped. "My designs!" Isabella cried out. The waiter's name was Luca, charming, clumsy, and dangerously handsome. "I'm so sorry, signorina. Let me make it up to you. Coffee on the house, and maybe dinner too. If every mistake of yours ends in dinner, you must be very busy," she teased. "Only with beautiful women," he replied with a grin. They laughed, and soon they were talking like old friends. Isabella told him about her dream to create fashion that respected the planet. Luca listened closely. "So, why haven't you done it yet?" "Because nobody invests in a broke dreamer." "Then do it without investors. Italian style. Passion, chaos, and luck." The market of Florence. A few weeks later, Isabella took a train to Florence to find unique fabrics. To her surprise, Luca showed up at the station with a backpack. "You can't conquer Italy without a local guide," he said. They explored street markets, bargained with vendors, and ended up singing with street musicians at sunset. As the sun painted the sky pink, Luca said, "You know, I admire your madness. I wish I had the courage to chase my dreams, too." "What's your dream?" she asked. "To open my own cafe by the sea, a place where every cup has a story." "Then do it." Isabella smiled. "If I can sow my dreams, you can serve yours." The Amalfi Coast. 3 months later, they traveled together to the Amalfi Coast for a local fashion fair. Isabella had sold her first handmade pieces to a boutique. Things were finally looking up. Until disaster struck. A sudden storm destroyed her entire stand and soaked half her collection. Standing in the rain, she shouted to the sky, "God, give me a sign that I'm not crazy." Luca, soaked and smiling, said softly, "This is the sign. If you can still laugh in the storm, you can keep going." That night, under the rain and glowing port lights, he kissed her. It tasted like espresso, salt, and new beginnings. The choice back in Rome, Isabella received an offer from a major fashion brand. They wanted to buy her idea, but in exchange, she had to give up all her creative rights. It was fame, money, and stability, but also the death of her dream. Luca looked at her and said, "Don't sell your soul for a contract. Your dream is worth more. And if I fail, then fail with style. But fail as you." She refused the offer. With the little money she had left, Isabella opened a small studio in a hidden Roman alley. She posted her designs online, and one dress went viral overnight. The world fell in love with the American girl who dreamed in Italy. A year later, Isabella stood outside her first boutique, Bella Vita Designs, and next door, Luca had finally opened his cafe, Café dei Sogni, Cafe of Dreams. She cut the ribbon with tears in her eyes. "A year ago, I was scared. Today, I have faith. And that changed everything." Luca smiled. "Now we both have our dreams, and each other, by the sea." Sometimes dreams begin with spilled coffee, with chaos, with laughter, with one small yes. Italy taught Isabella that success doesn't come fast, but it comes when your heart works harder than your fear. When you mix passion, persistence, and love, everything becomes possible.